that happened, or that very tragic incident that happened in Abuja. And then also the implication in different parts of the country, you have one story or the other. That just gets you thinking about the state of the nation, the state of things, how we operate, how there is a lot of impunity, lawlessness, disregard for people, all because some people have constituted themselves as mini authorities, okay? So I'm sure you guys must have had that conversation on what's happening in Abuja, but let's revisit it a bit and also add up other issues that I would want for us to have this conversation on, because it's very imperative. We need to ask these questions. Going by the way, things happen and nothing is done. You'd wonder just how far it is that we can go carrying on the way we do. Okay? So, we have lots of associations. We have lots of, umbrella bodies that encompass people who work in different sectors, whether in the transportation, like you have the NURTW, you have different organizations like that. And sometimes these people, they stretch themselves very far by coming out and having to interface with the public. Like in the case of these transport workers, right? Okay, there's a place whereby people need to respect the laws and go by it in terms of not, cheating some people in their space. Now, I understand when the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers want to safeguard their members and ensure that people do not illegally pick up passengers, okay? They do not illegally pick up passengers and rob the people who have registered and are paying their dues to that association of what is theirs. We understand that there's a place for that. But when you look at the system, the transportation system in Nigeria, you also realize that there's a big gap, right? We have taxis. Sometimes some buses also, ply the road. But in all sense of honesty, are these things enough? Are these means of transport enough? And then we also have the big menace of these one-chance drivers, where many people, in the bid to want to get home, get picked up by people. Sometimes in painted or unpainted taxis, they enter because they assume that these guys are taxi drivers, right? And somehow they get killed, sometimes seriously injured, life-threatening injuries, that people sustain through this one chance. So we have lots of issues. We have lots of issues and gaps within the Nigerian transport system, especially in the FCT. Let's whittle it down to the FCT right now. Because in other climes or in other states of Nigeria, we've seen issues too, as regards transportation. But looking at the peculiarity of the FCT, we have gaps that needs to adequately be filled. We're hoping that by now, the promise of the CNG fueled buses would have been rolled. I mean, I see some of them, but is that enough to get people to and fro so that transportation is not a problem? And not only road transport. In other climes, you get to see metro lines, this electric train system whereby people who even have cars don't bother to drive, because sometimes you find people walking interstate. So all they need to do is just go join those trains and it ferries them to their different destinations in good time because of the good transport system that we have. So that when you look at the transport system, a lot more can be done. So I guess most of the time you get to see the menace of one chance actually thriving because there is a gap in that. Now, like I said earlier on, we understand we have taxis, we have buses, but then they're also not enough. And then the economic situation forces a lot of private drivers to pick up passengers here and there. Am I justifying that? I don't know. Because in all sense of honesty, there is the need of so many of these people who stand by the road and sometimes cannot get the taxis who are painted, who are legally running up and down because they also are busy. So sometimes you see private individuals going on to pick up people to augment, to help bridge the gap, because if you don't do that, you get to find out that these people may not necessarily find taxis going to their own destination, or may not even find taxis. So you see, private individuals step in and all of that. Now, is there a way that can be controlled? Yes, it can be controlled when you have adequate transport needs met, in the sense that there are bus stops to certain locations at any time, any day. You find buses always going to and fro, taxis, and all the other, legal means of transportation. But there is a wide gap there. So that means private individuals and some of these illegal people carrying on criminal activities through one chance would have their say. So unless the system is structured and made in such a way that it functions optimally, the bridge or the gap is closed, I think we'll continue to have these issues. So I think there should be more innovative ways of trying to bridge this gap or cover up this, gaps that we have in the transport system. Now, that's where the NURTW come in, right? The National Union of Road Transport Workers. I think they exist to protect their members, just like any umbrella body does. But then can there be better ways that they can do that? By licensing, by getting more vehicles on the road and doing whatever it is, bringing up innovation to ensure that is done. Yes, that can be done. Do we need agberos on the road? I don't know. I don't think so. And even if you need officials to ensure that these things are monitored, it can be done in better ways. And not to have some bunch of touts and illiterates who just don't know what it means to interface with the public with human respect, human dignity, and, human rights, respecting human rights. Now, you suspect that someone is picking a passenger who is not supposed to do so. What can be done? It's just like what the court told VIO. Do not come out on the road. Don't stop people. You can easily use your technology, your means of, flagging down whatever vehicles it is that are defaulting in terms of payment or renewing their papers. Can we bring in technology? Can we advance a little more and stop seeing some of these embarrassing scenes and situations where agberos, whether it is confirmed to be true or not, someone parks their car, they want to drop off their loved ones, they want to drop off their friends. You will see these people from nowhere jump into your car, seize your key, or just start fighting and putting people's lives at risk. And that was exactly what played out yesterday when this man and his family came out. Now, a whole family has perished because of the illegal activities or the very, very uncouth and very crude method that these guys have been using. For the longest of time, these conversations have been on. In fact, I guess, at some point in time, I've heard, some of the officials come into our studio and try to justify this very crude means. Now, is this not sending a message that enough is enough? I feel so. And let's also come to the issues of some of these truck drivers, the truck drivers that you see moving around carrying, whether it is fuel or some building materials or just conveying items from one state to the other, or even within the state or within the metropolis and all of that. You have cases of them running into people, killing people, injuring people. Sometimes, causing people to start living differently able because of the injuries they sustain. Now, a typical case, I'm sure many of you have followed up on social media, is, Fina, one of those celebrities. I think she was a winner of one of the editions of the Big Brother Naija, whose sister was crushed by, according to the story, an Dangote truck. Now, Dangote has had a lot of issues with his trucks, running into people, injuring them, in some instances, killing them. And I don't know what becomes of such cases, because you get to see instances where people get angry. There's a mob action, just like there was a mob action yesterday with that accident in Mabushi. Those agberos were actually caught and they were burnt. That's another issue on its own. Jungle justice, we've talked about this several times. But maybe you just want to look at the anger of why should this lead to the death or the perishing of a whole family because agberos are bent on executing or carrying out their duties forcefully. You don't force people to do that. We said the same thing of whether it's the VIOs of this world or the road safety of this world, who want to engage motorists. And look, trust me, there are some people who just don't have a care in the world. Oh. Some people are moving around with mental illness. Some people are moving around with a lot of anger, so many baggages that people are carrying, economic hardship, and a lot of things. And you want to contend with people on the road who would naturally stop when you're stopping them, or you're trying to, when they know at the end of the day, it's going to be, you have to pay this, you have to give us money. Because that's what this thing is all about right now. Most of the time they stop you and all they want to do is just collect money from you. Everybody is in the business of extorting, and it's getting tiring. So Nigerians are tired and the anger is really palpable, so that anything, you get to see what happened yesterday. Those guys, is it justifiable? No. But then can you control mob action? Sometimes you can't, unfortunately. So they've been warning them, and I guess this is an anger that has reached a height, and they probably wanted to make a statement to reach out to all the other agberos on the road who are in the business of dragging people when they are driving, risking lives, all because you want to carry out your job. There's no rule that says that. There's no rule that justifies it. Whether it's with the agberos, with the police of this world, road safety, VIO, do not put people's lives at risk. That's why we said bring in technology. That way your work is easy. You don't even have to come on the road. You know who are the offending people or the people who are defaulting one way or the other, and you're able to catch them. Nigeria, it's time for us to rise up above some of these primitive means of wanting to exert authority. And some of them, I don't even know if they have, legally they are permitted to be on the road. I'm talking about the touts now. That you would go after people who are licensed, their car papers are complete, but because you are suspecting in your tiny brain, you go out and you put people's lives at risk. So we saw that mob action. Then back to the issue of the truck drivers too, like I was saying, many a times you have accusation of so many of these big companies whose trucks run into people, kill people, injure people, and place them in so much pain and financial burden, because at the end of the day, you end up seeing that they don't even take responsibility in the first place, right? So Fina's sister was hit, her leg was amputated. Long and short of the story is that she has died, and that has raised another question as to taking responsibility of some of these truck drivers. Now, a typical example is what happened in the U.S., very similar to what happened, to this Fina sister who died, an illegal immigrant who was discovered to be an illegal immigrant. Was after the incident that he was actually discovered somewhere in Florida or so, took a turn, an illegal U-turn, because, there are some places that are prohibited for trucks to take a U-turn. So he did, and unfortunately there was an oncoming vehicle that could not match the braking time, and 3 people were in that car, and they rammed into this trailer who was making that illegal U-turn, and then somehow ran into it, and all the occupants in the car, just like yesterday, 3 of them died. So what happened? We saw police, state authorities swoop into action. The man was arrested. The license of the company was seized, and serious legal action has been taken, to ensure that does not happen again. But in the case of Nigeria, or in Nigeria's case, how many people are brought to book? How many people actually answer to some of this criminal and, unsavory or unacceptable behaviors, this impunity that we get to see in our country? So it's a case of some of these non-state actors, causing a lot of harm, damage with their activities that put others' lives in harm's way without necessary or commensurate action, being taken. Isn't it time right now that the authorities in the FCT and in Nigeria generally rise up to say, well, because the lives of citizens are consistently being put at risk due to the activities of some of these people, whether it's the agberos of this world or the truck drivers of this world, that there needs to be a standing rule that if any is in violation of the rule, that they should not be on the road, or if you put anybody, you harm anybody, you injure anybody, then this is going to be the consequence of it. Isn't it time that we see whether the federal government or, state authorities or state governments, local governments take up a stand with regards to some of these non-state actors. So this is a conversation I want us to have today. It's honestly worrying to see that these things just keep happening over and over and over, and all we do is lament and cry about it without necessary action. One man put the lives of 3 people at risk and killed them in another crime, and already that company is shut down and cannot operate. But here, what is actually happening? Now, with what happened in Mabushi, shouldn't we see the Agberos cleared from the road? That's my question this afternoon. What do we need to do? So much better to make this society have a semblance of sanity in terms of the way we carry on, especially with some of these non-state actors. Let me know what you think. Please call me up. Let's have this conversation. 0700 951 0000 and 08095 974869. You can also call me up on 080999 30137 or send me messages via that or voice notes of 1 minute 30 seconds. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
My name is Ajola Victor from Dusalagi.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Ajola.
What happened at Mabushi yesterday was very unfortunate, considering the innocent life lost due to the activities of Touts. It is very unfortunate that we are now witnessing a state of anarchy in Nigeria. We are now living in a state where people break law and nothing will happen. Some people believe they are above the law because they have some people at the top who will protect them and nothing will happen. The truth is this: touting has been legalized and godfatherized in Nigeria. That's a fact. Those boys, they have godfather at the top, chief godfather. They have sub godfather, and they have leader. And therefore, they believe that whatever they do, nothing will happen. And those boys at times are under the influence of alcohol, dangerous substance, and some of them are into diabolical means. So, therefore, they don't care about human life. How will you be dragging a shining with innocent driver? This is very unfortunate. And at the end of the day, you see, because people don't believe in the system again, at times when some of these boys are arrested, some of these touts, they are taken to the police station. The police will release them. At the end of the day, the police just go and settle with them. Because the police at times are helpless, because they know because at times they have to take orders from above.
All right.
We are dealing with a serious situation, and therefore something needs to be done. If not so,
what is that something? What is that something that ought to be done?
Now, what we need to do is that, if it is possible, we ban them. We ban them. The government ban them. If not so, they will continue to mess up and kill innocent people, and nothing will happen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Adjola. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Okay. Yeah, my name is John.
Okay, Mr. John.
My sister, it's very unfortunate for the life we lost yesterday due to carelessness of some people. I have been a victim of these 2 things you mentioned. And one of the things I think that can be done is, just like you say, the company was shut down due to loss of life of, I say negligent of, some people. These people you see, they are not professional. You need to see how they do this thing. Honestly, I don't know if you have come across them. The way they drag with you, they want to collect the key. They will say they will drive the car by themselves. And we have government. They will bring out ID card, tell you that they are working for government, and you have not, the way they behave. They are all smokers. You will see the things smelling their body. I think government need to take, serious action. See how they can restructure this our system, and see how they can, bring in professionals to do this kind of job, because you can't bring in people from nowhere and just put them on the street of the Abuja and expect them to behave well. Especially most of these guys, they are out from different states. They brought them to here to come and do that rubbish work. And secondly, on Dangote issues, January this year, 21st January, they almost end my life with that of my sister in that Gishiri Bridge they just built.
All right, can you pause? We need to take a quick commercial. Just pause, sir, please.
Okay.
This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info.
Hi everyone, my name is Swat. That's the name my father gave me, but you can always call me Her Vocal Majesty. I'm the host of The Sunny Side on 95.1 Nigeria Info. It takes place every weekday, noon to 3 p.m., where we get to have all the lovely contemporary conversations. If your days are normally long and gloomy, well, not anymore, because I'm here to make it all bright and sunny for you. So join me. It's an invitation. You don't want to miss out.
This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. 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 This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info.
Dial the numbers. Let's take this call. Hello.
Yeah, my dear sister, good afternoon and well done job.
Thank you. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Chifobi. I'm calling from Waru.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much for always being there for us and bringing a very sensitive issue like this.
You're welcome.
Sister, my outtake on this issue is when sensitive things that has been left unchecked like this, just to tell you that some people have a lot of interest in it. Because the activities of Miss Aguero in HCT, government will never tell Nigerians like us that they don't know them, that they don't know what is happening. And why are we always waiting until something comes to this magnitude damage? Before we see them, we will now begin to tell. Some of us have been crying about these people long ago. And government pretend as if they don't know. It will surprise you to get to know that some of these people are working with all these people. It will surprise you. Go and check. They won't tell us they are not hearing us. They won't tell us they don't see these people. But for me, if government want to do this, they should train these people. They should operate a school for them. Operate a school institution for them. After training them, you put them so that even when they
arrest you, you know that you have you are dealing with people that sister, it's so painful. But God will see us through. But Nigerian government know them, they are aware of them. May God help us in this country. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's continue with the conversation. Someone is on WhatsApp. Hello. Hello. Welcome.
The woman that speaks the melodious voice.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to report you to my brother.
I am sorry. I am sorry, sir.
I understand. I just want to contribute to the topic we are discussing about. My name is Pastor Fale from Dover.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned something that are very, very important. You talk about this cars carrying passengers on the road. There is no way you can replicate that in your world. Even in Dubai, that is well regulated. And we have the transportation system working well here. We see how private individuals are carrying passengers. Even we are prefer them because they are faster, although they're expensive. But government have a way of arresting. I don't see police running after them on the street. Never. They know how to pick them up. Like one day, I picked one up at the supermarket. That was why I said, excuse me. And I was putting my load at the boat. Excuse me. They just asked us, I took the car to the station. That's number one. Number two, concerning this the Agbero issue, I don't think we need Agbero in Abuja. They are consisting distance. They are embarrassing or disgracing us. In the federal capital territory, I don't think we need them. What I think government should do, the only solution to this, number one, is to make our passenger system working. Is there anything wrong if we have train system that is working in Abuja? This is my past 3 years. I'm going to 4 years in Dubai. I've never thought of buying a car. But in Nigeria, I could not live a day without a car. Why? Because I need to move from one place to another. But here, if I want to move, all I need is my metro card. And I go to anywhere I go to without stressing myself. So, and concerning what led to this, let me just say, this is the insecurity issue. If you ask the union why they are arresting people, they will tell you because of one chance they want to eradicate. You say that the issue of one chance is because government are failing their responsibility. Because if you can't kidnap anybody, I can tell you under 1 hour, police will fish you out because there are cameras everywhere, every corner you enter, you see camera in Dubai because government are taking business of security very serious. But in Nigeria, it doesn't matter to them. Life means nothing to Nigerian leaders. Life of the Nigerian system means nothing to them. You see what happened now, and at the end of the day, you see this was back to the road, and this thing will still continue next year. So what are going to do? Let government play their role. Let there be security camera everywhere. So that will create fear in the heart of everyone that want to commit crime by kidnapping people. That is just what I want to say. And let them make our metro, our taxi, function very well. My regard to the family, my regard to everybody, and my condolence to the family that lost their loved one. Which is quite unfortunate. My regard to everybody. I'm your king. God bless you, Mom. We'll talk after.
All right. Thank you, Pastor TJ.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. All right, Mom.
Okay. Okay, that was Pastor TJ trying to relate. I like people calling from different climes to relate what actually is present in other climes that we can learn from, because it's not a matter of saying, but what can we learn? That's why it's good we understudy, especially if we know that we're lacking in a certain sector. We can go and understudy what similar clients have in place that is working for them. In the transport sector, for example, I feel that is one sector that has honestly been neglected for the longest of time, and that's why you have, tragedies upon tragedies, whether it's the accident, it is the kidnapping, and so many of the inconsistencies and gaps that we see within the transport sector. It's a large sector that can even create big time employment for lots and lots of people. But are we doing enough? I think we can do so much more. But let's continue with this conversation. Non-state actors and the role they play in endangering lives. And what can government do in order to take a stand against some of these things? Typical examples of what we saw happen yesterday in Abuja. And then cases of some truck drivers too who keep just causing unnecessary accident, and sometimes we don't see any consequence at the end of the day. That's the question I would love to hear from you. Hello.
Hello, Swat.
Yes.
Thank
you, Nasa.
So Tisha from Dubai, I greet you, and I greet the listeners and callers of this great radio station. Honestly, what happened yesterday, was a pathetic one. Do you know what this Agboro have been doing? So about 10 years ago, I was in a hurry to go work. So I parked for that job, to drop somebody for that place. This guy came in, they hijacked my vehicle. I was in a hurry. I left the vehicle, go to do my normal things. Do you know I came back? They forced me to register by force. Me that I was going privately to drop a colleague. That's what happened. No? They forced me to register for the union, for the state, and the national. I said, I'm not a passenger. I don't carry passenger. This colleague, I just drove him here, and you guys enter my motor, hijack me. As of then, I think I spent about 15,000 naira. About 10 years. That's what happened. So look at what this Agboro have cost. And in this Abuja now, we don't have proper transport. Just like we have taxis, or like Lagos that we have BRT, the axis that you follow and you drop passengers. Most of the vehicles are being held by some civil servants that go to work in the morning, and after closing, you need to see people after closing hours. Go to Nikon Junction and see people. Go to Area 1 and see a lot of crowd. And even for someone to drop his loved one, these criminals will just hijack person. That was a day again I closed. I was going home. I said, let me help some people. Do you know that these people entered my vehicle, started dragging steering with me? I said, I thought I wanted to help you. I'm not carrying passenger. Say, Oga, we don't know. We think say you want to carry passenger. I beg, find something to borrow. I say, I won't give them. And that is how it is. You can imagine what these innocent people now, they have made these children now to be orphans because of the negligence of these people. And when you report them to police go say, go and settle with them. They have been doing that for that beggar. The only people that these people don't attack is these uniform men that hold arms, like DSS and policemen. But we, the civilians, they harass people. They don't have the right to even drive Sienna in Abuja. So something needs to be done. Master Wike should do something about these hoodlums that have been attacking people from Barnet, Bega, Area 3 Junction, and some places in Abuja. They don't allow people to rest. They don't even know how the people are struggling to buy fuel with the cost of fuel and the cost of maintenance of vehicles. And this Agboro will come from nowhere and be dragging steering with people.
All right.
Something needs to be done. They need to sanction them, and they need to get them out of Abuja. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I would love for us, to be solution-oriented in our conversation as to what you think government can do. What sort of laws can be put in place? What kind of stance can government take, at different levels to ensure that some of these guys are highly regulated and taken off our streets and do not cause the harm that we see them causing every other day. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Jamilu, calling from Utaku.
All right, Jamilu, thank you for joining. Go ahead.
Honestly, those people, when you look at the way this Agboro do their thing, some of them, I have a fact, most of them are armed robbers at night, then Agboro in the morning. When you look at where they are staying, it's just drugs in their hands. Go to some area of Jadi Park, Bega, immediately after the Bega Bridge, on your by the right, before that new building, that is where they are. The area one under bridge, behind Coal Oil. So Barnet, at the Barnet Junction. So even the government, just these guys, follow those areas, go where those boys are. Look at what they take before they enter road. You know that they are just criminals. It's just, if government want to deal with them, let government deal with them squarely. But thank God now, people are start doing jungle justice. Because we said there is no to jungle justice, but the way things are now, if they start killing innocent people, tomorrow is the person that you don't know. Today is the person that you don't know. Tomorrow it can be you or your sister or your brother. So people will not allow them.
All right, Jamil.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let me take this and read some messages. Hello.
Hello, Auntie Swat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Thank you. This is Victor calling you from Kubo.
Okay, Victor, go ahead, please.
It's unfortunate what happened yesterday, but what happened is, it mirrors the kind of society that we find ourselves in, as a people and as a nation. But going past that, looking for solutions. What I think the government can do, to start with, there was a time we had 35 buses in this town, a good number of them. And the last time I passed the Kubwa Express, there is a place they just parked them, as if they just abandoned them. We can bring out these buses. And these guys that are looking for who they will harass on the road, tell them, okay, instead of harassing people, this is your new job now. Karo axis, Kubwa axis, Lugwe axis, and all of that. Because the more, the less of government's transport system on the road, the more people, like somebody said, civil servants who are going to work, who want to pick one or two people. By the time they do it 3-4 times in a week, they would have raised some money to buy fuel, So it's all of these things simply points to the high level of unemployment and people who are not engaged. Because we can't say, let's just ban them. If you disband the Aburos, where will you send them to? It's similar to the issue we were always talking about with the bike guys in certain areas of the town. If you seize their bikes, you have not solved the problem. Rather, you have even created another problem. Okay. So those buses need to be brought back to this, to the roads. And then we can now engage these people, the ones that, because all of them may not probably want to engage in it, but at least a good number of them would have said, okay, this is now a legal means of earning legal money. I believe that will help to, bring down the situation. Because if you continue like this, similar thing can happen tomorrow.
All right.
Because people are getting fed up.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Let me read messages this afternoon. Let me start with Facebook. We're streaming live, and people have left messages on our Facebook live stream. Thank you so much. Let me start with Ozo Francis Omaga Namani. He said the activities of Agbero or Touts is becoming worrisome and alarming. Government should come up with regulations to checkmate the activities of these Touts. Enough of all this, for goodness sake. Then Hills Onoja, he said government alone cannot handle the transportation of her people effectively. Hence, Hence, the private individuals' involvement, but there should be effective control by trained officers and not just any random person that end up harassing people. Concerning, why is this thing going off like this? Okay, he said concerning the issue of trucks causing a whole lot of harm to individuals and families, I would advise the government to enforce the use of trucks on our roads only at night to reduce the number of casualties recorded almost on a daily basis. All right, thank you. Benedict Mosi Mabale Soje said touting is just a reflection of a failure of the system. Imagine what Nigerians have been going through in the hands of these touts. While Benedict comes back to say, for instance, once your car is a Sienna car, even if it is a private car, you are in big trouble with the touts. I don't know what gave them the that impetus to be stopping Sienna. So that means I cannot buy a Sienna because you're suspecting that I'm carrying people. I don't know how these people think, but it's quite appalling. Honestly, that's the least way to describe some of the things and the manner in which these guys, most of them unschooled, most of them not aware of any issue that has to do with human rights or respect for human dignity. They just don't care. All they want to do is, by all means, what they think, they enforce it. They are the judge and jury, and they sentence you there and then without giving you any fair hearing. And it doesn't work like that in any sane or civil society. You can't have people operating like we are in an animal kingdom and you think that people will not resist. People will definitely resist. And I guess that's what happened yesterday. It's just an offshoot of what we're speaking about, and also to the truck drivers too, who are in the business of killing and injuring people. That cannot be sustained for too long, because in other climes we see how immediate action is done to forestall any occurrence. But then what happens here? Many people have asked, is it because he's associated to the richest man in Africa and all of that? Nobody should be above the law. Human life should be way above any other thing. But do we see that in the instances that many people have been injured and left, fending for themselves and nursing their injuries for the rest of their lives? It's quite unfortunate. Let's read some WhatsApp messages and hear voice notes too. Joshua Nyanya said, good afternoon, Swat. Concerning Dangote truck, It's getting out of hand. Another accident just happened today involving a Dangote truck in Enugu, which claimed the life of about three lives, including 600 level pharmacy student. For how long can we put an end to this? Interesting. Good morning, Swat. I guess you said something because you said Abuja is becoming a lawless city under the watch of this administration. Can you imagine that these bad boys are everywhere? I was in a vehicle, a Hilux that belongs to NAFDAC on Sunday, together with some brothers and sisters, just closing from church some months ago. And as the driver tried to stop for one of us to drop off, these miscreants came and stopped us from moving, saying that we must pay 20K for parking under Yaya Bridge. And the brother driving the car is the director in NAFDAC. Even after introducing himself and told them too that we're just coming from church, they still insisted we pay 20K. We got delayed for about an hour before their Oga asked them to let our car go because the NAFDAC director insisted he would not pay them a dime. Joseph Sam on Airport Road. Thank you. Good morning, Ma. Okay, no, this is not for me. Let me take on this one. It's a voice note. Let's listen to it. Don't worry, guys on the phone lines will come back to you in a bit. But let's take the voice notes and messages.
Barrister Swat, good afternoon. My name is Chimeze from Gwagwalada. When we say government is not working, people think that it is just to castigate or pull down the government. Barrister Swat, all these arboros along the road, if our government have been able to invest in recycling of dustbins, can't we gather most of these people and make them officers of that very department? And the fertilizer will be surplus, food will be surplus. Why will able-bodied human being stand along the road every day to come and disturb people who are doing their business? You're not buying fuel for them. You didn't give them money to go and enter motor. And the case of truck drivers as well, these trailers started having problem with people, killing people everywhere because youths are now driving a trailer. You see some children, 22 years, 25 years, they're applying long vehicles like that. Most of them are on weed every day. So a lot of things we have to do. And if we don't take a look at this, maybe very soon something more ugly will happen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take on this one. Good afternoon, SWAT. The blunt truth is that we have found a way to legalize illegality in Nigeria. Okay. The system needs sanitizing or else we may just be heading into chaos. Jungle justice may become the order of the day, God forbid, says Dr. Alex from Gariki. While Harrison Wire from Jahi once says, good afternoon, SWAT. Same Dangote truck crushed an entire family in Enugu today, a day ago. It's becoming a norm. Okay, but what can be done? That's my question too, and I want for us to address, what kind of stance should the government take with regards to this sort of things, honestly? Because we continue to talk and lament about these things. It keeps reoccurring on a daily basis, and that's what we're saying. So what sort of stand do we need to see being taken by government, federal, local, states? What kind of law, what kind of stand should be taken to get these things to not become a normal thing in our society? Because, from the way people are talking, it's already becoming a normal for us. Hello?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
My name is Roland.
Okay, Roland, welcome.
It's good if we are bringing out this topic because this is what has been a problem for years in Abuja. It's so unfortunate that what happened yesterday at Mabuchi. However, these persons, they are criminals. And it is why they even lynch them is because people are just tired of them. I'm into e-hailing business too. You cannot pick or drop an individual. You don't, if somebody orders you, you must go into wholesale market. If the person is just by the road there, you cannot, those people will just surround you and they will cause problem for you. At times they will enter, they will remove your car seat. If you do not move your car seat, they might even break your glass, your side mirror. That is what they do in that. You see that one at wholesale market. if you come to, okay, I missed my way on Ganya Bridge. So I just wanted that someone was wanted to ask, where is, please, can you direct me to this place? Suddenly, as I went that the guy put his hands inside my car, opened my door and entered with an apple. I was not picking anybody. It's just to ask for direction. I never knew. He entered. I had to pay money that day. This is just few of other incidences that have happened. The solution is they should get out of the streets. Or else people are angry. Nigeria is difficult for people. And the little money we will get, somebody who don't know anything will just come and just stop you on the way. Because of what? Nobody is dragging their passengers with them. Somebody orders you and is on the road, you want to pick that individual. Say, problem, you cannot go there and pick that individual. And the most unfortunate thing is that police will be packed there. If you go to Beggar, there are various police van there. Police will be packed there. Those boys will do what they will do. And those police will say nothing. So all people are tired that people who are supposed to protect them are not protecting them. What do you expect people to do? People have to take laws into their hands to protect themselves. And that was the incident that happened that yesterday.
All right.
So it's just, this is Abuja. They should just be very careful with it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Get them off the streets. Get police to actually be on that. If not, they get what they have coming. Hello.
Hello, Barrister Swat.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Abubakar calling from Gogolade.
You're welcome.
A great pastor, TJ from Dubai, a great select, a great all the callers. All the callers made meaningful contribution. Who brought Iberu to Abuja? Before 2015, the Iberu have a formidable capacity in Abuja. From 2015, there are a lot of some elements who came to Abuja. I don't want to measure them. So now the question is balanced. Iberu is multi-million naira industry. And some of your callers have highlighted it. I don't want to repeat myself. So they have godfathers. They have people who are backing them. In Lagos, we have DRC. In Kano, it's Karota. If they want to regulate the situation, they can regulate it in Abuja. And even if they want to regulate it, they must be flexible. The road is built for the public use. Then what is the answer we have? People, the road user, are being pursued with violence and lawlessness to the extent it's leading to the loss of life. It's unfortunate. In Nigeria, if you do good in Abuja, it will project the image of Nigeria globally in good faith. Whatever the headquarters of all ambassadorial seats are here in Abuja, those in authority to press subtly and put Nigeria image in a good stead.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Malam Abubakar. Let's listen to more voice notes. Let's listen to this one.
Swat, good afternoon. This is Matthew from CBD. Actually, this is my first time I'm sending my voice to this radio. I'm a silent listener. I used to listen from background. I know almost everybody working in that Nigeria Info. I've been following Nigeria Info since 2015. This issue really bothers me. That was why I'm lending my voice this afternoon. First of all, the issue of truck drivers. Majority of the political office holders, including the president, they have trucks in all these big companies, including in Dangote. I have somebody, a cousin, that is driving a truck that belongs to Jagaban in one of these big organizations. So they will not take action. The issue of truck, Nigerian government will never take action. I'm sure of that 100%. The issue of Agboro, majority of the people in government, they use them to rig elections. So they will never take action. It is we, the citizen, that will come together and decide what we want for ourselves, just the way it's happening in Kenya. That is the only solution. If not, we'll keep lamenting till eternity. That is the truth. I'm angry. I don't used to contribute. I only listen. But today I say, no, let me contribute.
All right. Another one here.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm so happy.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria